I'm a student at Morehouse School of Medicine, and today I'm here to talk about health and nutrition. This is part of our community health course, and this is just to raise awareness and increase health literacy within the community. So just a quick look at the agenda. Our presentation is split into the pre-survey, the introduction, how to read nutrition labels about diabetes and hypertension, a couple of resources, as well as a post-survey. So this is the QR code for our pre-survey. We'll also be including a link to the pre-survey in the description below. So you can either pause the video or just go ahead and do that if you would. So today we're talking about health and nutrition and why is that so important? So we're going to be focusing on Collier Heights. This is a neighborhood within Fulton County and Atlanta, Georgia. So our group or students at the Morehouse School of Medicine have been in this community. We've been analyzing the neighborhood. We've been looking at data, and we noticed that some of the highest causes of death within this county and in this neighborhood are things such as heart disease, vascular diseases, hypertension, cerebrovascular disease, and diabetes mellitus. And we noticed that all of these are very preventable diseases, something that can also kind of be managed with changes in diet. And when discussing, and we also talked with the residents within this neighborhood and county, and we also saw similar concerns rise within the community. So some of the needs that the community noticed was food insecurity, as well as low health literacy and healthcare access. So based on these needs that we identified, we decided to try to address this common issues and barrier by providing tools and knowledge people need to try and overcome it. We also wanted to provide a space for people to just meet, share information, as well as obtain feedback regarding sessions such as these. So to start off very simply, we're going to be talking about sugar and salt. So in relation to diabetes and hypertension, so to start off with, what is diabetes? So a lot of people have heard about diabetes, perhaps a family member has it, but what is it exactly when you get down to it? So pancreas is an organ in the body. It is right next to the stomach and right above your intestines. And this organ is in charge of secreting a hormone called insulin. And a lot of people have heard of this, but if you don't know exactly what it is, insulin is a hormone that is released in the body once you eat, and it causes cells to take up sugar from your blood. And this is how your cells get the sugar or energy that they need to function. So there's type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is the inherited disease, and type 2 is more related to lifestyle. So type 1 is something you have from birth. The cells that produce the insulin are destroyed when you are born or are destroyed gradually. And these people need insulin injections in order to survive. Type 2 diabetes develops usually sometimes later in life. And this is usually due to constant high calorie sugar diets. So constant high blood sugar, your cells and body start to habituate to that. So they have a decreased sensitivity to this insulin. So they take up less sugar or they start taking up less sugar from the blood, to put it simply. So type 1 and type 2 diabetes, it's a disease, but it's a very relatively common disease. You'll see it in a lot of actors or famous people as well. So let's say Vanessa Williams, Lil Boosie, the rapper, having type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes. You'll someone like Tracy Morgan or Patti LaBelle. And moving on to hypertension. So hypertension there's actually various causes of hypertension and high blood pressure. There's a lot of things contributing to it, but we're going to focus on its relation to sodium or salt. So your body tries to balance the amount of salt and water that's in it so that they're proportionate. So your body basically maintains a certain concentration of salt in your body. So the more salt you have in your body, the more water your body's going to try to maintain to basically balance or keep that concentration or salinity kind of your blood. So if you have more salt or you have a high sodium diet, obviously your body's going to keep more water. If you have more water, then you have an increased volume of blood. And if you have an increased volume of blood, that's more pressure against your blood vessels, which is your increased blood pressure or hypertension. So for example, if you, just to kind of demonstrate, if you have 1 spoon of salt, say that your body keeps a ratio about 1 spoon of salt to 1 cup of water. This is not how it actually is, but say it's about that. This means that if there's about 2 spoons worth of salt in your body, then your body is going to try and maintain 2 cups of water in relation to that. So a high sodium diet tends to have you'll tend to see an increase in blood pressure for that reason. And as such, we are going to now talk about nutrition labels. Just to preface this section, this is not us telling you this is how you should eat. This is you should limit this, you should limit that. Don't eat this, don't eat that. This is just to show you, help you see what you're eating and helping you just be aware of what is going on, what is going into your body. So going back to sugar. So generally, there's not a strict amount of sugar or amount of sugar that you are supposed to like limit yourself to, but the dietary guidelines generally advise that you can then less than 10% of the calories that you consume is from added sugars. And keyword there is added sugar. So added sugars are generally basically manufactured sugars such as fructose, sucrose. You've heard of those. So those sugars are there are certain sugars that are that your body has a harder time, like it's basically inefficient sugars. Your body makes or obtains less energy from those types of sugars than you get from natural sugars. So if you compare something like orange juice and Coca-Cola, so orange juice, there is like 24 grams of sugar in it, and you're going to say, well, okay, maybe that's a lot, but again, it's just total sugars. We're not, and it's not saying that orange juice is bad or anything like that, but you'll notice within this highlighted area here that it does include 0 grams of added sugars. So these are just natural sugars that are contained within this juice. It's perfectly healthy. I mean, not too much sugar is not good for anyone, but it is healthier than something like Coca-Cola, which has a total of 39 grams of sugar. That's a lot. You could say yes, but it's 39 grams of added sugar. So it's that inefficient sort of sugar that your body gets maybe like a quick boost of energy from, but otherwise doesn't get much out of it otherwise. And next, going back to salt. So the dietary recommended guideline for salt is generally about 1,500 milligrams per day. And to put this into context, we can talk about something that everyone's probably very familiar with, ramen. So I think everyone has heard at some point in their life, ramen has a lot of sodium. And if you look at closely, yeah, it has a lot of sodium. If you look at closely at the highlighted area, you see that it has 760 milligrams of sodium per serving. And if you just look at it, take it at face value, we're going to think, well, yeah, that's a lot of sodium. That's about half of my daily intake. But if you notice, it is 760 milligrams per serving. And this pack of ramen is not a single serving, but rather 2 servings. So you're going to have to double that amount. So it's not actually 760 milligrams of sodium that you're consuming, but rather 1,520, and which is basically your daily recommended sodium intake. And then here's another familiar food item known for its like high sodium content, which is pizza. So again, you'll notice sodium, 790 milligrams. Yep, that's a lot of salt, right? But you'll notice the serving size. So that 790 milligrams is for a single serving. So a single serving size is considered a quarter of a pizza. And I'm not sure how everyone else is eating, but I'm certainly not eating just 2 slices of pizza when I eat pizza. So generally, if you eat like 2 slices, or sorry, 4 slices or so, you're actually doubling that amount. So again, that is a lot, basically your entire recommended sodium intake for the day. So going back to that, now that you know that, going back to the nutrition label. So you see the nutrition label, there's a lot of numbers. So what do numbers actually mean? So if you go over to the very right here, you're going to see percent of daily value. So this percent daily value is basically telling you that whatever you're consuming, whatever food item that it is, like say this is a label for a cereal box or something, they're basically telling you that single serving you're taking is, let's say, for example, going back to sodium or salt, it contains 20% of the daily recommended value. So that, let's say, cereal or whatever you're eating for that day, one serving is 20% of your daily recommended sodium, and you basically have 80% or so left. Again, this is not telling you to basically calorie count or be counting the amount of like salt or fat or anything else that's going in your body. It's just being aware of how much or how high certain things are within your foods is just helps you just kind of make healthier choices in your life. So if you have something like diabetes, something like hypertension, you might just try and avoid these foods. Not saying stop these foods, but just kind of be aware that hey, I'm already managing something like diabetes, hypertension. I have high blood pressure. Maybe this isn't something I'd want to consume in large amounts. So this is just a quick video that you can look up online. It's just 100 calories and 10 random foods, and it shows you what 100 calories looks like in these different foods. So something like goldfish as compared to something like Oreos, and it's just a quick little fun video you can look up if for reference. And moving on, there are a couple of resources that we found that is very accessible to everyone. So something such as the Heal Clinic at Morehouse School of Medicine. The address is listed right along there, and they do provide care to help manage diabetes and high blood pressure without insurance. Um, there's a simple and easy food calculator. It's a very easy site to go to. If you go to it, you can open it up. There's a list of very common fast food restaurants, such as McDonald's, Wendy's, and they have a list of all the menu items at those restaurants. So you can look it up and you can get that same nutrition label that we showed earlier. And this is just so you could see again what's going on, what your food is contains. Another resource here is nutritionfacts.org. So it's a website that is a compilation of videos, articles, or even recipes. These are all fact-checked, has a lot of research to support each article that is posted here. So it's a good so if you're looking for healthy recipes, or if you want to know some more facts about certain diseases or certain about certain food items, all you need to do is go to that site and just search it up within that website. And another resource here close to the Collier Heights area or the Fulton County area is a food bank. There are certain limitations, certain days where you can go. So you can go ahead. So if you are interested, you can just go to the site, read about them, and see what days you can go. And finally is our post survey. So if you filled out that pre-survey, post survey is going to be something very similar. Again, here the QR code is provided here, and the link will be included in the description as well. And thank you for listening.